everyone, it's Lauren. This is Skeptic She. Welcome back. Apologies ahead of time if you hear stomping around. I think my neighbor just woke up. Today we're gonna do something pretty fun. So because I live in an apartment, I get a lot of junk mail from previous residents who never changed their address for certain subscriptions, and one of those subscriptions is Celebrity magazine. It's a Scientology magazine. If you are not familiar with Scientology for whatever reason, I highly recommend you start with Leah Remini's documentary called Scientology in the Aftermath. It was on A&E, but I believe it's either on Hulu or Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's Hulu. It's very biased, but also if you look at all of the research behind it, there's no reason to think that the bias is not correct. Yeah, Scientology really sucks. So without further ado, let's dive into Celebrity magazine. So right off the bat, right on the cover, we have a little thing here that says, "Start your winning streak. Rid your body of toxins. Clear your path to success on the Purification Program." When I look through this, pretty much every article references the Purification Program, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Essentially what it is, it's like a pseudoscientific rehab center, and they will, for example, have complete disregard for how withdrawal actually works. And some people have died in those centers. Okay, so first we get this nice spread of the Celebrity Center. This is exclusively for people in Scientology who are celebrities. Obviously Tom Cruise is kind of the face of Scientology. And in every single Scientology magazine, every one of these celebrity magazines, there is always at least one picture of the founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. Look at that. We have taken to graffitiing his face pretty much every time we get one of these magazines, but I asked my boyfriend to hold off until I'm done with this video so you can see him in all his beauty. So this is an excerpt from his book, Clear Body, Clear Mind, I think. But anyway, there's this whole introductory thing that talks about how society is made all of chemicals and not just drugs or medications, but like if you go to the laundromat, if you get secondhand smoke, anything like that, like your body just absorbs all these chemicals. And he makes it seem as though your body doesn't have natural detoxifiers, so you need to join the Purification Program. Obviously, that's the only way. In short, and putting it bluntly, this society at this time is riddled with toxic substances. It is to this situation that the Purification Program is addressed. Yeah, and then they have spreads of celebrities. Jenna Elfman's here, and they all give mini testimonies. So this guy, David Kitchens, he's a musician, and I believe he's a producer. I'm gonna highlight throughout this things that I think are pretty hilarious and also a little bit frightening. It says, David was now in a rock band, but he wasn't quite ready for the spotlight. The problem was he got nervous on stage, so he decided to do something about it. That's fair. David mentioned the issue to his boss, which turned out to be a smart move. And then David says, he told me, well, I know this Church of Scientology, they have a communications course that you could take there. David went on the course, and after 15 minutes, had the realization about what was causing his fear in front of an audience. Okay, you could probably get what I imagine would be very similar, if not identical advice, anywhere other than Scientology. Stuff like that where it doesn't say specifically how he overcame his stage fright, it just says he had this realization after 15 minutes. I wrote, it's the power of vague suggestion. Yeah, all these vagaries and niceties are just sprinkled throughout this to really promote Scientology to people who unfortunately don't know any better. So then it goes on to say that David went on to run a company, and instinctively he again turned to the wisdom of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard and began implementing Hubbard administrative technology to train staff, track production, and streamline other actions. So there are these cutesy little names for everything that Scientologists do. David wants artists to know that there is a path in Scientology where they can remove the ill effects of past drug use and toxins and improve as an artist. He says the Purif, I think that's short for Purification Program, freed him from things he hadn't even realized were negatively impacting him. Imagine that! And all of his senses were heightened. I was more aware after the Purif. I heard sounds I had missed before. My connection with the physical environment totally improved. This is further demonstration that Scientology, like most if not all cults, creates solutions to invented problems, or it makes you think that you have a problem that you actually don't, so then you can more easily credit Scientology for curing that imaginary problem. So again, it's a lot of power of suggestion, power of being vague, Placebo effect. So this next article is about more layman Scientologists, non-celebrities, and it's called Your Winning Streak Starts Now! On the Purification Program, toxins and drugs from the past are released. The only thing left is the true you, free to pursue your dreams and goals. So my understanding of this whole program, aside from what I mentioned before, every drug that you've done in the past, or even every chemical you've been exposed to in the past, even right down to laundry detergent, all of that gets into your muscle tissue and it stays there for years and years, and the only way to get rid of it is to do this specific program in this specific cult. It says, "It will come as no surprise to know that we live in a toxin-filled world. Add the negative impact of alcohol, drugs, and other chemicals you might be in contact with, such as those used in dry cleaning, and you can see how easy it would be for those substances to diminish your talents." So essentially they're saying you can't start a career until you rid your body of toxins. The Purification Program is the solution, and apparently the only one. Here are some testimonies. So this gal Tanya talks about how she was sitting in a sauna and all of a sudden she started to smell cologne. Tanya had been using an array of beauty products on her skin without the realization that the chemicals they contain are actually absorbed into the body. Okay, first of all, the fact that you smelled cologne either means it was in your head, someone who was wearing cologne was previously in the sauna, you were wearing cologne that day, or the wood in the walls of the sauna smelled like cologne. Also, are you really sure that beauty products get absorbed into your body? And if they do, so what? It gets worse, which also means it gets better because, you know, more entertainment. This other guy said that he started smoking weed at age 14 and did it a bunch, and then I think he stopped for a while, and he also was in the sauna and experienced the drug residues leaving his tissues and his whole perspective on life changing. Weed doesn't stay in your system for decades. That's not how it works. This last one is probably my favorite. This lady says, "Yes, I did run out my toxins. My hands swelled up and smelled like bleach even though I hadn't done hair in 5 years. I also saw old tan lines come and go, and that was very cool." Nope. Nope. Alright, so the rest of this magazine talks about all these different events sponsored by Scientology. They all have cutesy little names. At each event, they hand out pamphlets and they try to suck people in, get more money, get more people to come into their center so they can be tested and convinced that they have a problem that Scientology can fix. One example, the Way to Happiness motorcycle ride. They hand out the Way to Happiness booklets with the United in Peace cover. This next one is called the Way to Happiness Cleanup Committee. So on the surface it sounds like they have really good intentions, you know, they're going out with trash bags, cleaning up garbage in their neighborhoods. But then this guy who's involved in it says his team clean sweeps the area, getting rave reviews and assistance from local residents and even the homeless. People say OMG. It actually says OMG. People say OMG, this is so great, thank you. And then they want to pitch in and help, says Nick. It's so, I wrote in the margins here, it's so masturbatory. And then it wouldn't be a good deed without pushing some pamphlets, right? Cleanups are followed by TWTH booklet distributions, which Nick says are important to expanding an understanding of the precepts. My favorite thing is showing people we are here to help and giving them a tool to improve their lives. But you know, if they dare use any other tools, screw them. In closing, the back of this, curious? And then gives a little ad for the Scientology network. Isn't that lovely? So that is the Purification Program issue of Celebrity Magazine, the Scientology magazine for you and yours. I have to say I'm really happy that we get a subscription of this by accident. I'm glad that the previous tenant doesn't seem to care about it. It's probably good for them, but it's also good for me because, you know, more entertainment. I might show you more of these. But that's that. Celebrity Magazine. What do you think? Should I join Scientology? Should I start the Purification Program? Anyway, y'all, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. And I have to say, with a little bit of peer pressure, I have now joined Twitter. In addition to my Instagram, I will post the links in the description. And also thank you to those of you who have been promoting my channel, Shannon Q, Neil the 604 Atheist, all these great Canadians, obviously Blue Collar Heathen. He's not Canadian, I don't think, but anyway, the point is you guys are great, so thank you so much. As always, if there's anything you'd like to hear me talk more about, please let me know. In the meantime, please subscribe to my channel if you have not already, share this video with your friends, keep asking questions, and I will see you next time. HAPWTH, what is that again? The happiness, the withering, the